And once again, there's the bell. Welcome to a pop-up special edition of Satanic Study Hall. As always, we want to thank you for joining us in Study Hall today, and however you found us, we are glad you are here. If you don't recognize the voice already, my name is Bill Rohr. I am a member of the Satanic Temple and a member of Satanic Delco. Over the last few episodes, our listeners have gotten the opportunity to get to know myself, Johnny, Frankie, and Joseph. However, there has been a key element of our production that's been missing. And that element is our co-podcast creator, Dennis Krewson. And it just so happens that sitting here in study hall with me right now is the man himself. So, Dennis, what's going on?
Hello, you fucking heathens. How's everyone doing?
I know, I'm doing pretty fucking good. Really good to have you. It's exciting. It's been long overdue. I don't want to waste any time here because I'm sure our listeners didn't expect to hear us and have things that they need to do. Tell us about who Dennis is.
I am a member of the Satanic Temple, and I'm a member of Satanic Delco. You know, I enjoy long walks on the beach, you know, a little podcasting here and there, and finding the best places to hide a body.
I'd swipe right.
Oh, and swipe right, yeah.
I would so swipe right. It's definitely good to have you here. Hey, how old are you, by the way?
33.
33. See, I've known you for, 6-7 months now, and I had no idea. So we've all had an opportunity, like I mentioned before, me, Frankie, Joseph, and Johnny, to tell our story a little bit, where we came from with religion, our backstories, and the evolution through our initial beliefs as a child to atheist mentality, and then from there to Satanism. So I'm wondering if you could tell our listeners and myself, because this is new to me as well, what was your childhood experience with religion overall?
Actually, growing up, I wasn't really brought up in a religious background. My dad was he claims agnostic. For a while he was saying atheist. My mom never really showed any signs of having a religion or not. I never really knew. I was baptized at 2 years old, Catholic. That was just because my grandmother, ranted a rave about having me baptized Catholic for some fucking reason.
Right. It's usually mandatory when money's involved too. I've noticed in talking to a lot of people, people reach out to their parent for a loan or some kind of financial assistance, and there's a condition: get little Johnny baptized.
Yeah, no, I mean, my grandmother had all kinds of hands in the pot on just for my birth and all that. I have 2 middle names because she had to have her father's name in there, and I had this weird fucking name. So, but other than that,
did you go to church?
No, not really. No, it wasn't until about ninth grade is like the first real touch with religion and Christianity that I had. I started attending this group called Young Life. It met up on Thursday nights, and
all right, right off the bat, not to interrupt, that already sounds shady.
Yeah, it was shady. Like I said, they met up Thursday nights, and it would usually be like 1 or 2 guys on guitar, like one of members of the group, because it was just all high school kids. They play songs on guitar like that everybody knew, Wonderwall and all that shit. Just everyone sings.
A little bit of Oasis in there.
Yeah, everyone sings.
No, I won't do that to our listeners.
Like my best friends went, and all my friends went. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. Like, why not?
Now, did you believe in God?
At the time, no.
All right. Did you believe in God as a child?
No, I never really had
There's no real exposure there.
I just never thought about it.
All right. What about reading the Bible?
Didn't touch it until ninth grade.
Until ninth grade. So you started, that was like your initials, dipping your foot in the water.
Right.
Dipping your toes in the water and reading Bible verses and trying to make sense of all that stuff. Okay. You read a little bit of the Bible. You're starting to hear some religious chat and chatter. What's your thoughts?
I was a little weirded out, just to begin with, but I went in with an open mind. Just kept, I don't know, it was more of just a hangout on a Thursday night getting out of the house for me than it was really about the religion. It wasn't until we took in It was a fall retreat, but it was like, end of November, beginning of December. We go away to one of the camps, for a weekend, go mountain biking and things of that sort. And then they'd have, an hour long, I don't know if you want to call it a sermon, or it was just a guy up there talking about God and shit like that, just trying to drive it into our brains.
Right.
I don't know. I just went for the fun shit. Like I said, mountain biking. There was whitewater rafting and all kinds of shit.
You just had to push through a little bit of the religious shit, and then
got to go play disc golf all day. So
I did the same thing. I had this thing through Vacation Bible School. Me and my sister went, and there was this like a program on Tuesday nights called Awana, and that was what it was for me. I can push myself through a couple of hymns and prayers to hang out with some people that I went to school with and whatnot.
Exactly.
During young life, what was or not even necessarily during your experience with that, but what was your aha moment when it came to religion or the Bible or Christianity in general, where you were just like, okay, this doesn't make sense and I'm not really buying this shit no more?
All right, so it was about 11th grade. I was 16 years old. It was in May 28th, 2004. I got into a bad accident and had a traumatic brain injury. I died twice, and they revived me. My brain was bleeding in 6 spots. My frontal lobe was beyond fucked. I just couldn't understand, when I finally woke up from my coma. I was in a coma for 2.5 weeks. When I finally woke up, I just couldn't understand, why me? It's one of those things.
Yeah.
I just found you, but I thought I've been good and all that shit, and couldn't really grasp it, and kept going to young life for a little while, but I really started to question everything that I was reading and hearing, and I just came to the overall conclusion that it was all fucking bullshit. I couldn't understand why I would even attempt to, go so long with the group that I did. It's just, like I said, I guess it was just trying to hang out with my friends.
Yeah, you were young. It was an escape outside of your 4 walls at home.
Yeah, exactly. Senior year, called it quits. Went atheist. A little after that, trying to think of when it was. Probably 2 years after high school, I found the Satanic Bible, read it. I was interested in it, but I didn't really give it a second thought. I just stayed atheist and just thought that was enough.
Yeah.
And I just kind of pittered through life. I had a really bad addiction problem for a while. I was in rehab. It was about 2016. And I picked the Bible back up and I was reading through it, and I was like, oh man, this is cool. This is cool. I couldn't agree with all of it. But the Ninth Enochian Key talks about how you shouldn't abuse substances because it clouds the master's mind and this and
right.
that. I kind of really grasped onto that while I was, in this fucking rehab and all that. And I tried out a couple different things. I even tried the whole invocation of Satan and all that. I was like, it was bullshit. So never really called myself, a member of the Church of Satan. I refused to fucking pay that price.
$250.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous. That's bullshit.
I wonder where that money goes.
Into their pockets.
Anyway, so you're at this point where you're about ready to say, nah, this quite isn't for me either. So did you still consider yourself a Satanist after the point where you were like, Church of Satan isn't for me?
Yes. Real fast before I get on that, if anybody out there is a nerd like me, I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm a dungeon master. I'm looking for a new screen. If anybody out there does woodwork and can burn a Baphomet into a nice wooden screen for me, I will pay you well.
Yeah, to satanicstudyhall@gmail.com or any of our social media, which we'll talk about in a little bit for sure. So I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, and we will be right back.
The Devil's Dictionary.
Today's word is inviolable. Definition of inviolable: secure from violation or profanation, an inviolable law. Secure from assault or trespass, inviolable borders. Inviolable use in a sentence: one's body is inviolable, subject to one's own will alone. His will and determination were inviolable. That's all, degenerates. See you next time on the Devil's Dictionary.
The Devil's Dictionary.
So, no more living Satanism. You're still maintaining yourself as a Satanist.
Yes.
We both admit to spending a whole bunch of money on satanictemple.com merch. So speaking of the Satanic Temple, how did you, so the Satanic Temple's been around since 2013. When did you first learn about them? Did you know about them for a while? Kind of, stay away from it a little bit? Or I wish our classmates would shut the fuck up. They're getting loud.
Yeah, well, what can you do? No, when it comes to the Satanic Temple, I had heard in passing about the, was it in 2015, the Arkansas statue.
Right.
The unveiling of the Baphomet there, and I thought that was fucking badass, but never really followed up by Googling their name or anything of that sort. But I knew the name. Like I said, 2016, I was reading the Satanic Bible and kind of helped me out in a way, but I just couldn't get all behind it, and I still wasn't filling that void that I was missing. That I tried to fill with the the drugs and alcohol and
right,
and with the Church of Satan, and I kind of just stumbled across their name again. So I finally went to their website and I was reading the 7 tenets, and I was like, this is something I can really get behind.
Here's a question for you. Now, this is one thing that I asked myself as well. Would 7 years ago you be down with the tenets and be as invested as you are in them now?
Yes, I would.
Okay. I question that about myself a little bit, because I'm not quite positive that the person I was 7 years ago would have been as level-headed and reasonable. And plus, I mean, with all the distractions of, child and young children and change of careers and everything, I don't know if when the temple first came out, I was quite ready for it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're talking about.
I mean, I'm not that one of those guys that say everything happens for a reason or at the right place, right time, but I really don't think that personally I think it would have been until about more like 2015, 2016, okay. Until I was at that point, but no, totally. I'm just curious. I like to ask people that question a lot.
Right.
It's just from the evolution itself, I mean, individualism is one thing, but we're all growing. Like, I am not the same person I was 7 years ago. I mean, there's definitely parts of me that are dead. Mm-hmm. There's parts of me that have grown, and there's a whole bunch of other parts of me that have popped up. As a member of the Satanic Temple, how do you feel about it? How does membership feel? How does the temple as a whole make you feel? Are you happy with the direction things are going in?
Yeah, no, I think the direction of the temple is going fucking amazing. I'm behind it 100%. I don't know. It's just the idea of the temple and having, we have these like-minded group of people, and it's a community feeling, we're always interacting with each other, always, checking in on each other, always, joking around.
Yeah, it's a network thing. That's what I'm getting out of it. I'm making new friends. And don't get me wrong, like that, there's a couple hundred people in that group. I doubt I'm going to create friendships with, mm-hmm. Even half of the people. I mean, that's the goal as time goes on, if people stick around, because, I'm in it for the long haul. But I've made acquaintances into close friendships.
Yeah.
And it happens fast when, and at the same time, which is fun, because even though it's no fun hanging out with a clone of yourself. I think Joseph said that last week or last time. If you're going to hang out with someone who has the 100% same ideals and values as you, then you might as well just say fuck them and hang out with yourself. Right. I appreciate the differences between me and family, friends, because I love to fucking argue. Not necessarily argue, but I like to debate. I like to push people's buttons, and I like to challenge. I always have.
As they say, plays devil's advocate.
So let's move along a little bit. And is there anything you want to talk about in regards to the last 30 days? You called into the podcast a couple weeks ago, or last time we recorded. You mentioned that things weren't so good at one point. Now, did they ever get better? And anything you're comfortable talking about, man, would you mind sharing?
I was an idiot, and I relapsed, and I went hard, and I decided that it wasn't right to it wasn't fair to myself. It wasn't fair to the people around me, my family, my son. There's a lot of stuff going on with my son right now that I need to stay sober for, and it wasn't fair to you guys, and as a podcast, I want to be here and participate as hard as much as I can, and work as hard as I can for what we're trying to achieve.
Right.
And I just felt I wasn't able to put in the amount of effort that I was needed to put in. So,
totally. I can completely get that.
So I checked myself in, and things were fucking weird in that place. Brief overview. Moved up to the second floor after being on quarantine and detox. nobody really accepted me in this group that was up there except for a couple people. And this one guy who was one of those like self-absorbed, attention-seeking douchebag.
That's bad. I like that word. Douchebag has always been one of my favorites. Or douche nozzle is even better.
Oh, that is a good one.
Douche nozzle.
Ooh. But now there was 2 guitars in the place that people could play. Of course, they were both right-handed, so I couldn't play. I was left-handed when I play. So he would always walk around with this guitar and like go up to people and just start playing the guitar. And he wasn't even that good. It was like the same 3-chord progression, really shittily strummed.
Right.
Oh, it was fucking horrible. And these people would just like sing, along with whatever he's playing. He did not take a liking to me. I don't know what it was. He was always calling me a fucking weirdo, this and that. He yelled at me, called me a faggot at one point, so I just kind of blew some kisses at him and winked. And he just started...
hang on a second. This is the principal.
Oh, no.
Good morning, students and faculty. This is your principal with an important announcement.
This happens like every day
Satanic
now.
Study Hall is not affiliated with any other satanic organization. The views and opinions expressed on Satanic Study Hall are ours and ours alone. Thank you, and as always, Hail Satan.
Yes, Hail Satan.
Hail Satan. All right, so back to this douche nozzle with the guitar.
All right,
So
yeah.
people are singing along to his shit, and he's getting a big head because he's cutting you down.
Right. And so, I was just keeping to myself. I read like 3 books. They were all in between like 350 and 400 pages. I had nothing else to do, so I just sat there just one after another. So I got like 3 books down. I was like, I'm going to take a break, watch these, like the TV in one of there's 2 TV rooms. So I went into the one TV room. There was like 6 people in there. Sat down, watched, was watching TV. I don't remember what they were watching, honestly. I think it was just, I just kind of zoned out on the fucking moving lights.
He's watching to watch for the sake of watching.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. This guy comes in with the guitar, and these like 3 people follow him. He sits down, he starts playing the guitar, and I was like, yo, fucking screaming at him. He just stops, looks at me. I was like, take it to the fucking hallway. We're trying to watch TV. And he didn't fucking like that. He got up, he started mouthing off as we were walking. I was like, yo, suck my fucking dick, dude. Like, so there was other shit that he just tried to instigate a fight for like, every day for like a week. Then one night he heard me say my serenity prayer in group. I guess he hadn't paid attention before that. I feel the serenity prayer is, it's a non-denominational thing. You can put any entity into it or deity into it, and it'll work for you. And with me, kind of on the path of believing that I'm my own God. I choose my own path. My own destiny is created by me. My serenity prayer, instead of God grant me the wish, and the serenity and all that. It's Dennis, grant yourself the serenity. It's kind of more of like a mantra. Like I wake.
Oh,
up,
it makes complete sense.
I wake up in the morning and I tell myself in the mirror, like, you are not a bad person. You've only made mistakes. With all my shit, and it's helping me think more positively. So this is now like, Dennis, grant yourself the serenity. And
they didn't like that.
Well, at the end of the serenity prayer, they say, God's will, not mine, be done. I would just say, Hail Satan. These guys fucking lost it. It was
I'd
like
imagine so.
These 2 fucking uber Christians. This one, this douchebag that's been fucking with me, and his roommate who's some like Marine, which I'm not putting that anything down. Like, if you served our country, my hat is off to you. Like,
Right,
I
absolutely.
completely respect you for that. That's fucking awesome. Thank you for your service. He always talk about that, and what did they nickname him? Sergeant Slaughter was his nickname in rehab. And,
I like Sergeant Slaughter.
Right?
Well, until he went bad and started fighting with Hulk Hogan.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. This guy had an amazing fucking mustache too, and
Really?
he kept it good. It was like a thick, turd above his lip.
Fucking caterpillar.
Oh my god, it was huge. But they just lost it. Like, oh, that's so disrespectful, this and that. I'm like, how? It's anybody's fucking serenity prayer. It's a recovery prayer. It's not. They're like, well, it's godly. It's godly. The next night, one of the techs brings me in. He's like, can you, like, is there anything you can do to change it, to make, make people happy? I was like, sure. I'll just say Ave Santanis, the Latin version. And he's like, yeah, that's no problem. Thanks, man. I was like, sure. So I go into group that night. Halfway through group, I get called out on the loudspeaker. So I leave, and Outside the door is this short little like 4'9" Jamaican lady, old Jamaican lady with this fucking thick accent. And she, like, you know, she asked me to come with her to the chart room. I go into the chart room. She's like, yeah, you know, there's been complaints about you saying Hail Satan. You know, if that's your religion, that's fine. We're non-denominational, but this is a godly prayer. Because she was like this uber Christian too.
Yeah, she didn't like it.
No, she didn't like it at all. She's like, this is a godly prayer. This is a godly prayer. You know, you're going to have to leave the room before they say the serenity prayer and go do your prayers in your room in private.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, okay, I see how this is going. Like, what the fuck?
So I would have been like, so you're confident that everybody else in this group all worships the same God? You mind if I go in there and ask real quick?
Yeah, well,
Because I'm fairly certain that you go into that room and there's going to be some fucking variations between these people's version of the big man upstairs.
exactly. And, you know, she tried to use the excuse like, well, you know, we have a Muslim guy here and he does his prayers in his room. I was like, well, that's how they do that. Like,
Yeah.
in private, and they do their thing. But yeah, I was like, I tried to explain to her, I was like, we don't really have prayers. Like, this is something I say to feel like I'm a part of a community, part of a fellowship, because I feed off the energy of everybody that's in there. To me, they're a power, like, there's someone with 3 months. He's a power greater than me because he hasn't picked up in 3 months longer than I haven't. Yeah, so she completely ripped that whole feeling of fellowship away from me, that feeling of community away from me. I was basically labeled an outcast again. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, you were the fucking stupid, dirty Satanists that they shunned to their room.
Right. There was a few people in there that still liked me and all this, and after a while, a lot of the like the old heads in there that were that the long time users they came around. They were like, you know what? They, like one morning, someone this guy Daniel that I ended up playing some music with in my last week there, he stood up and he started flipping out because something else happened. He then pointed me out. He's like, you guys are fucking getting on Denny about this, that, and the other thing. You know what? For the rest of the time I'm here, I'm also going to say Hail Satan. He screamed it real loud and stormed out of the room. Fucking, I was like, thank you.
Well,
Daniel.
good.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, at least you got one person that tried to go to bat for you.
Later that day, everybody was like sharing. They were just saying like, Denny, we don't believe in the same thing, but we respect you for your beliefs. So like they started to come around. It was pretty fucking cool. But that was the original group in the second floor that I was on, and they all graduated before I did. So I got a completely new group in, and it was made for sheer chaos.
Well, I have an idea. So they wouldn't let you join group, right?
Yeah, they
and
did.
Say your stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
But the last night I was there, I found that Jamaican lady, and I asked her, I was like, can you put everything that you said to me, write it on a piece of paper and sign it for me? No, why would you need that? I was like, I would like to have it.
I'd like to take it to my lawyer.
Yeah. So that's what I was trying. She's like, no. If whoever wants this, they can talk to me in person. I was like, oh, don't worry, they will be.
Somebody is gonna come and knock in. But yeah, so in honor of that, I'm gonna say a little something. This is the Satanic Temple's invocation, and if you want to check it out, it is available on the FAQ portion of their website, which is thesatanictemple.com. Let us stand now, unbowed and unfettered by arcane doctrines born of fearful minds in darkened times. Let us embrace the Luciferian impulse to eat of the tree of knowledge and dissipate our blissful and comforting delusions of old. Let us demand that individuals be judged for their concrete actions, not their fealty to arbitrary social norms and illusory categorizations. Let us reason our solutions with agnosticism in all things, holding fast to that which is demonstrably true. Let us stand firm against any and all arbitrary authority that threatens the personal sovereignty of one or all. That which will not bend must break, and that which can be destroyed by truth should never be spared its demise. It is done. Hail Satan.
Beautiful.
I believe so. And the first time I heard that out loud, I had read it numerous times before, but the first time I heard it out loud, I believe, was in Hail Satan, ? The movie. It was, I feel a fool for not remembering her name, but it was the chapter head that they ended up, I think, exiling. Not exiling, but, separating themselves from. I mean, she's awesome. Like, her passion kind of, helped motivate me But yeah, her voice reading that, and she did a fantastic job. I got goosebumps hearing her say it.
Right.
And I immediately went and looked it up, and you know what I mean? And I want to print it and get a poster of it or something, because, I mean...
That would be badass.
It's a fantastic invocation. I mean, hands down. I don't think there's any better way of saying any of that.
Speaking of, making a poster and all that, we still have to we got to find a spot for that flag of Baphomet that I have for the.
Yeah, we need to do. We need to reconfigure study hall here so we can take some video. Right now it's a little chaotic, and I don't want to get all these people in class with us to sign non-disclosure forms right now, and all those confidentiality agreements and all that, and permission slips.
I mean, as long as we focus the cameras away from them, I think we'll be fine.
Yes, we shall do our best. Speaking of doing our best, we are really trying to do our best with keeping up with everybody on social media. We don't think we missed anybody, but if we happen to have or missed a comment or a question, please reach back out to us. Now social media will be buzzing a lot more with Dennis on deck. He's going to be really taking on the reins of social media and reaching out to all y'all and keeping the questions answered and responding to any of the bitching and complaining.
So definitely reach out on the social media. I love talking to everybody. I love all that shit because it keeps me fucking busy. So
and email us at satanicstudyhall@gmail.com. And then we're Satanic Study Hall on every social media platform except for Twitter. There we are Satanic SH. The only platform we haven't talked about is our Patreon. And again, I love saying these words, but we have more good news with our Patreon as it progresses and develops, along with our podcast. So right off the bat, we had an upgrade. Alex, thank you so much for your upgrade, man. It truly means a lot to all of us. This is your hard-earned cash.
Yeah,
and
thank you so much, man.
He just joined the VIP level, as I called it last time. I might fuck this up, but the super satanic VIP level, whatever you want to call it, it's the tits. And Alex is in that club. So we thank you, and we hope that we can continue answer your questions. And we also want you on the podcast. So expect an email. You should have had an email in your email inbox, whether it's on Patreon or your personal. By the time you're listening to this, it should have already happened. And of course, we can't forget Rob. What's up, man?
Yeah,
thank
how you doing, buddy?
Thank you so much. We do appreciate
that was a
this.
big surprise.
We're hoping you're listening to all of our episodes and taking advantage of the content that we're putting on Patreon for you. And we do appreciate you looking out for Frankie. She should be back on the next episode. She was in the nurse's office back to I think LeVay 101. So
okay.
Yeah, we're hoping she's feeling a little better soon. And then of course we go to our 666 level, which still is our all-inclusive level, and we have Nick, Charmaine, Kat, Tim, and Allie. And again, they're all at that 666 level.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you all.
Thank you.
We do have a 333 level as well. And again, we don't hate on anything you can contribute. There's one-time donation options, and we do not, assume or expect anybody to hop on. But anybody who has or will in the future, we're going to do our best to keep you entertained and keep you involved, because that's one of my main goals, is to keep the people that are helping the podcast stay afloat, become involved with our production, and become part of the Satanic Study Hall family. So beyond that, is there anything else you want to talk about today, Dennis? I know, we've talked about a lot. Anything that we missed?
No, I don't think we missed anything really. Yeah, I mean, once I found the temple, I was all hands down in, but I just didn't know if we finished that all off. Other than that, Bill, you look beautiful. It's great
always.
to see your face again.
I try.
I can't wait to see everybody else. Johnny, Joseph, Frankie. I think the next episode is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you got a chance to look at our song list. Is there anything on there that you're excited to talk about?
Oh, there's quite a few. I don't want to play the name because I want it to be a surprise. But
that's true. So next time on Satanic Study Hall, you will be joining us on Music Appreciation Day.
Can't wait.
Yeah, we got a lot in store there, and we're also going to go over a suggested playlist from Mr. Lucian Greaves. So absolutely. It's a little dated, it's a little old, but there's some really good music on there that we're excited about talking about.
Cool. I can't wait, man.
I said excited about talking about it.
Yeah.
See, I think it's time to clock out here. I think the bell's going to ring anyway. So once again, thank you to everybody who's joined us for our surprise pop-up special edition to Satanic Study Hall.
Thank you. I love you all. Yes, let's have a lot of fun now.
And Dennis, glad you're here, man. Don't go anywhere.
I won't.
All right, bell's about to ring. Thank you all for joining us. We will see you next time. Reach out to us on social media, and we can't thank you enough for lending us your time.